Welcome into the latest edition of Newswatch. Tonight, stay tuned to hear the latest in President Leith's resignation, along with the state of Iowa's recent action in the controversial civil asset forfeiture law.
And you won't want to miss why Iowa State is receiving national attention for a class assignment.
And I'll be talking about today's Iowa State Pro Day, as well as a preview of Iowa State's softball game tomorrow.
And we're going to see some warm-ups this weekend, but not without some showers. First, I'll have the latest in your weather. Stay tuned, you're watching Newswatch.
Thanks for watching and have a good rest of your night and week. Stay classy, Cyclones.
Welcome to Newswatch. I'm Hunter Smith.
And I'm Taylor Mankel. Thanks for joining us. Authorities have stated that a semi-trailer driver and teenage boy in a pickup truck have been reported dead in a southern Iowa collision. The collision is reported to have occurred just after 8:15 a.m. yesterday, 5 miles east of Ottumwa. The pickup driver, who has been identified as 61-year-old Joseph Snakenberg, was taken to the Ottumwa Regional Health Center, and the 18-year-old boy has been identified as Casey Jarms.
Iowa State received national attention this weekend after a professor assigned students to write a paper about 9/11 from the terrorist perspective. Although the assignment was given out on the first week of class, it was not obtained by the college fix until last week. Iowa State has defended the assignment, stating that the assignment was in no way an attempt to diminish the tragic events of September 11, 2001, nor was it designed to support the goals of Al-Qaeda and other terrorist organizations. The class is taught by James Stroman, who has taught at ISU for 10 years.
A last-minute proposal towards the future of Des Moines Skyline has made for an interesting Des Moines City Council meeting coming up in early April. Real estate investors Blackbird Investments have officially thrown their hats into the ring for the rights to a public garage near Court Ave. They are competing for approval with Mandelbaum Properties, who have proposed of creating a Tower Hotel Garage movie theater combo building versus Blackbird's proposed Tower Garage Hotel idea. This tower battle will come down to a Des Moines City Council decision on April 3rd.
With a unanimous vote, the Iowa Board of Regents approved Iowa State President Stephen Leith's resignation, as well as the approval of interim President Benjamin Allen on Monday morning. Previously acting as the president of the University of Northern Iowa, Allen will begin his interim position beginning immediately after Leith's final day at Iowa State, which is set for May 8th. Until he takes over as interim, Allen will serve as Iowa State's senior policy advisor from April 17th to May 8th. Allen began working as an Iowa State facility member in 1979, eventually becoming the Dean of the College of Business from 1995 to 2001. During his time as interim president, Allen hopes to retain the high enrollment and graduation rates set in place during Leith's presidency.
After 3 years of decline, Iowa land prices are back on the rise. A biannual land trend and value survey that was released on Monday shows a 0.9% increase in Iowa farmlands over the past 6 months. The survey credits high yields, gross returns, and more when determining the growth or decline of an area.
An Iowa high school teacher has been charged for allegedly having sexual contact with a student. The Marion County Sheriff's Office says it was contacted in February about a possible inappropriate relationship between 61-year-old Alan Stewart, a teacher at Twin Cedars Community High School, and a student. Investigators discovered Stewart had repeated sexual contact with a Twin Cedars student during 2015. Stewart was arrested Monday and faces 1 count of sexual exploitation by a school employee.
The Iowa Senate has approved a new bill that will crack down on the state's civil asset forfeiture laws that have previously come under heavy fire. A unanimous vote from the floor will make sure innocent people who are being pulled over and questioned are protected from unrightful civil forfeiture. This came to the floor after many reports of Iowans' money being seized at simple traffic stops. Some reported more than $10,000 had been seized. This bill will put more pressure on law enforcement and the prosecutors to keep themselves in check.
Reggie's Sleepout held its first Ames fundraising event at Jack Trice Stadium on March 25th. Participants were encouraged to construct cardboard shelters and spend the night on the field in hopes of raising money for homeless youth in the Ames community. 11 years ago was the first time people gathered on a football field at Drake University to raise funds and awareness for youth homelessness in central Iowa. Now, Reggie's Sleep Out has seen more than 10,000 participants and has raised more than $1.7 million.
The Fire Marshals Association has voiced opposition to the fireworks bill that legalizes them here in Iowa. The Iowa State Senate passed the bill last week and sent it to the House, but the IFMA made it clear that they think it is best to delay the legalization until 2018 in order to have more time to implement fireworks safety education. Now, coming up after the break, hear about how the latest actions by Donald Trump has significantly affected climate change.
Stay tuned. You're watching Newswatch. Newswatch, recreational marijuana will soon be legal nationwide in Canada, stated a recent report from the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Under the proposed plan, the country's federal government will oversee supply and licensing, while provinces would reportedly have the right to decide how marijuana will be distributed and sold, as well as its price. Canada's minimum age for sale will be set at 18, but local governments can set higher limits. Canadians hoping to grow their own plants will also be able to own 4 plants per household. Legal status will reportedly go into effect by July 1st, 2018.
With a swift signature from President Donald Trump, the United States has dramatically changed its fight against climate change. Trump signed an executive order today at the Environmental Protection Agency that will prioritize job creation over addressing the problem of climate change. This is a complete 180 change from the Obama administration, who more than any president before him had implemented orders to help the world in the battle against climate change and rising sea levels.
A teenager was shot and killed in a Pittsburgh area middle school on Tuesday afternoon. When officials arrived, they found a 17-year-old male shot on the playground. He was declared dead on the scene. This happened after students were already dismissed from school. No further details were provided, including the name of the deceased. The investigation is still ongoing. A plan towards action is expected within the week from the White House in regards to the unrest in Yemen. The current proposal to increase military assistance to support Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates in their fight against the Iran-backed Houthi rebels. This plan is a small cog to the Trump administration's total plan to attack ISIS in the Middle East. Some fear that with this act, Iran may think that the United States is forming an anti-Iranian coalition. The USA Women's Hockey World Championship is on Friday, March 31st. Although the controversy between USA Hockey and the USA Women's Hockey team is still active, the women have made it clear that unless their equality requests are met, they will boycott the championship game. Members of the men's USA Hockey team, along with many others, have announced their support for the stance the women are taking. As of now, no progress has been made between both sides.
On March 17, there was a U.S. airstrike in West Mosul where a top U.S. commander in Iraq said there is a fair chance that civilians were killed. Investigators are determining if ISIS was using civilians as a way to lure in the U.S. or if the group was using them as human shields. Lieutenant General Stephen Townsend did say that it is possible since there were multiple strikes in the area. Both Iraqi and U.S. Defense Departments are looking into the civilian deaths caused by the airstrikes. And by the looks of things, we've got some rainy weather, and it looks like it may be here to stay. We're going to take a quick break, and then our own Jared Calvert will be back with the upcoming weather report.
Welcome back to Newswatch. I'm Jared Calvert with your weather report. As we take a look at the current conditions outside right now, it is 46 degrees outside, winds 6 miles per hour out of the south-southeast. Humidity 89%, dew point at 43. If we take a look at the wind conditions right now, you can see that those winds are going from the east. Fort Dodge has a little bit of winds to the north at 6 miles per hour. Sioux City at 10 miles per hour in the northwest part of the state, and Council Bluffs at 8 miles per hour. And as we look at the eastern part of the state, we can also see Davenport at 9 miles per hour. So as we take a look next at the forecast that's coming up, talked about some rains here in the Tees. We can see that we've got some storms coming off from the west in Nebraska and Kansas, moving up into the southwest part of the state tomorrow.